but it's like I want warriors. There's the baseball gang.
Yeah.
Give me that. Show me that shit all day. And they had that. And they had the clowns.
We had clowns. We had guys in suits. We had mailmen. Yeah. We have everything.
We had mailmen. Yeah. I just picture these post office workers once the quake hits. Like, guys, we're onto something here. We could really do it. So once again, a video game that's missed out. And we'll talk about Mortal Kombat because I also wanted to run something by you, Marcus. Since I'm going to be in town for the Mortal Kombat release, we should do a post Mortal Kombat recording to get our thoughts on the new movie.
I would love that. What I was thinking too, and what I was going to let you know, is that and I love that thought. And what I was thinking was watching the movie through once, just as fans, me and you. Yeah. And then maybe doing just another watch of it with a commentary and doing that for like a special bonus episode.
Stay tuned. All 30 of our downloads.
We can talk. Yeah, exactly.
And we'll figure out what's going to happen, but we're excited. And what I was going to say was I think the only movie that does that and sets you up to where it's like an actual fight is Mortal Kombat. Like the fight I don't think they ever do a side-by-side shot. Maybe they do, but like Johnny Cage and Scorpion in the bamboo forest,
right,
is set up like a fight. It looks like a Mortal Kombat level. Yeah. It's like if you're gonna use an iconic title, you have to pay homage in some way, and you can't just be by having the video game of the actual story in the movie.
Right. And
how meta was that?
We did get one. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's. I remember, like, that was another thing that I remember, too, as a kid. Like, that was the coolest thing, though, right? Like, It is a video game in the movie. Like, how, like you said, it's so meta. And that was the coolest thing, even if it wasn't, like, the Wizard, Double Dragon is in the Wizard, and that's the first game that he plays. Yeah. But it's just
you scored 50,000 in Double Dragon?
Any video game that you saw in a movie, especially one that's a video game based after or a movie based after the video game, and the video games in that, it is so fun as a kid. But that's the only thing that we get off of it, though.
And I guess if you think about what that means to this world that they live in,
right?
That the game Double Dragon exists. It's a blue brother and a red brother, and they're fighting through a destroyed city, and they're both named Jimmy and Billy. That exists within this world, and they know it exists. And it is called Double Dragon. And no one thinks it's weird that this myth of the Double Dragon is a real thing.
Is a real thing, yeah. I mean, Alyssa Milano, Marianne, as the character, has to be playing this with her core power, not core power, but whatever the power core, not core power yoga, her yoga class.
I love that idea. All these people they were in a class of... They were in a core power yoga class when the quake happened, and they turned into power core yoga.
So far we have Patrick Stewart and core power in this movie.
Yes,
and,
that's great. Yeah. Keep making flubs, Marcus. This is the best part of the episode. I just think that's a very strange thing. Street Fighter paid homage to the fact they were in a video game, having Bison blow up all the things with a video game pad,
and that was awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and in this, it's like, no, this game exists in this world where Double Dragon is a real thing.
Right.
Did you ever watch the cartoon?
I saw a couple episodes. I remember seeing it, but I never dove into it deep. And
the big toy line came out of the cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't know if the cartoon was going to happen without the movie. Do you know that? I don't know that.
No, I do not know.
So this movie, if you're listening to us and you're interested in toys, follow this guy named Zombie Sailor Toys. This guy sort of has a knack for finding old warehouses that have unshipped toys from as far back as the 70s.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, and he found recently, within the past year, I think, like boxes and boxes of Double Dragon toys. So you probably still get those. And I remember the toys. I wasn't a big fan of them. I wasn't a big fan of toys that had clicking, like actions.
Yeah.
I would rather have
the twist and kind of click and twist, yeah.
No, I don't want that. Give me free reins like a G.I. Joe to manipulate joints and hold positions.
Right.
If I can't do a sidekick, I don't want the toy. basically was my my bar there that I didn't want to cross. So there was also a video game that was meant to come out based on this movie, a la Street Fighter.
Really?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that. Like they were timing it with the release.
Yeah.
But they couldn't time it. And yeah.
So you think about that. You think about, here is a video game movie based off a video game that exists within the world that the movie takes place in, and then there's a video game of that. So what the hell does that mean?
It would have been a Street Fighter-esque Sega
motion capture.
Yeah, like with Scott Wolf. I mean, just think of Scott Wolf in there, just throwing kicks. And Jason
I wonder if
Patrick.
he would have. Yeah, I wonder if he would have had there would have been taglines.
That would have been great.
Yeah. So it comes out in 94. And 94 is it's a good year. It's a big year. We've talked a lot about 94. A lot of these movies have come out in 94 that we've done.
Right.
So I'm not going to do too much to like set the tone of 94, because if you go back and listen to the Street Fighter episode, I think Marcus Hall did that brilliantly by talking about the importance of the arcade in Odessa, and I talked about the importance of the arcade at Peachtree Mall, and arcades are huge right now. Every comic book you buy has the NES release of these games that you thought would never come to a home console. And Double Dragon, let's talk about it. 1987 beat 'em up video game.
Ooh.
And I want to talk less about the development of this game and more about beat 'em up video games.
Yeah. Because I think that was fun. That was the year for them. Everything that's coming to NES and then out on the arcade as well. But I just remember so many like that. Yeah, playing.
They're my favorite type of video. Growing up, they certainly were.
Right.
What were some of your favorite beat 'em up games? If not Double Dragon.
If you're talking cabinet wise,
cabinet. Let's go cabinet for now.
I mean, cabinet was Punisher at that time.
Yes.
It was, of course, X-Men. It was Simpsons again as well.
Yes.
What else was there that I'm thinking?
Do you remember the first time? I'm pretty sure the X-Men game or the Avengers game was the first time I saw four player playthrough, like 4 players at the same time.
I think
maybe it was the Turtle. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you got to put Turtles in there too. But I think maybe depending on the release, and I don't know, but I think as far as my recollection goes, it was Avengers feeling like that was the first kind of 4-player thing. I'm sure I saw something before that, but I don't know if Turtles came out before Avengers or if that was I wonder what the first 4-player co-op kind of cabinet was.
And what's crazy is I usually don't believe in 4-play.
Mm-hmm. It's a mess. It is a straight mess. Like, that is the perfect money-grabbing scheme right there, especially with a name like Avengers, X-Men, Turtles, anything big like that in a childhood.
Did you recognize that joke?
No, repeat the joke again.
Oh, because your response to it made me think you did.
Okay, go ahead. Let me hear the
because
joke
I said, you know what's crazy is I usually don't believe in 4-play.
Oh.
And then you go, it's a mess.
It is.
It's a mess. And I thought you were about to like totally agree with me, like, yeah, fuck 4-play, dude. It is wild. And you think it's a brilliant idea. You know, the idea now is like, can you get through on one life? Like, that was a problem with the beat 'em up games, that the replay value was not really there once you beat it.
Yeah. And I mean, there's so much shit going on screen, you don't know what's going on. I mean, when you have Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, and somebody else on there, it's just, and Nighthawk, it's crazy, or Hawkeye, excuse me.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, and like those games, you just kept pumping quarters because you probably could have gotten farther with one player, but it was more fun to play with your friends all at once and do it all on one take.
So the beat 'em up genre is really accredited to the 1984 game Irium's Spartan X.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of that game because I hadn't. I do know the game that it was made into when it came to the States, and that was Kung Fu Master.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that game, that was the name of the game in Japan, and then it got renamed Kung Fu Master in the States, and that's sort of where the genre takes off in about 84. So in 87, when Double Dragon comes out, it sort of sets a standard that, like, it in terms of beat 'em up, it sets it to the next level. Like, beat 'em ups were beat 'em ups. There was like Irium X, and then Double Dragon hit. There were games in between, but in terms of like, oh, now we're onto something new. Like River City Ransom was of course big, and Bad Dudes and things like that. But these weren't as important. Because Double Dragon introduced some new features like 2-player co-op, and the ability to pick up and use weapons.
Got to pick up those weapons, man.
So apparently, Double Dragon was the first game to do that when it came out in 1987. The game was very successful, spawning a few sequels. I'm reading from Racket Boy's website. He has a whole, or they have a whole thing dedicated to beat 'em ups. But Double Dragon sort of shot the side scroller beat 'em up into popularity. So we owe a lot. And then in '89, Capcom releases Final Fight.
Yeah,
which that may be my favorite side scroller beat 'em up of all time, more than Double Dragon.
Yeah,
because I thought the characters were bigger. Like, you know how Double Dragon characters seem small on the side scroller? But you could do 360 attacks. That was a big thing. That was new. Yeah. Final Fight sort of introduced that. Cody's big kick, Hager's big fist spin. Interesting, they call avatars on here sprites.
I saw that, yeah.
Final Fight impressed gamers with its large character sprites and simple, easy-to-use controls. Amen. I don't need forward, back, forward, down, down, left, and then A to get a Haruken out. Just give me something I can hit this one button, and he's going to do the big 360.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I remember during that time, Aliens versus Predator as well was a big one too, like 94-ish, somewhere around there.
That was a lot of fun, yeah. Especially when it came out on the home, you know?
Yeah.
But then the big one was 89 for us, and that was the upright arcade beat 'em up of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
4-player co-op game. And as well, this is, I don't know, it doesn't say it was the first one, but it was certainly popularized letting the players use objects in the environment. So you could throw people into the screen. If you remember, that was part of the way you beat Shredder at one point, is I think it's maybe Turtles in Time, where you would swing them into the screen to fight him. Okay, so I'm starting to get an idea of the timeline. 89 was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 92, X-Men. And with X-Men, you could play 6 players at a time.
Yeah.
And it also had an impressive multi-screen setup that was similar to the Ninja Warriors. So they did that. They did the Simpsons Arcade. Konami did the Simpsons Arcade in 91. So Capcom and Konami started dominating the beat-em-up genres in the early 90s.
Yeah.
They also put out a number of console beat-em-up on Super Nintendo. They made a few notable Batman games. And let's not forget, in 89 also came out by Sega, Golden Axe.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Golden Axe, yeah.
I spent a lot of time on Golden Axe in the upright days.
Yeah.
There's also, if you're an Xbox Game Pass person or an Xbox player, I think a PlayStation player too, you can get a Capcom beat 'em up bundle, and they have a lot of these games in there, Final Fight, and a lot of these side-scrolling games that are being mentioned. Some view Golden Axe as the first successful hack and slash beat 'em up, which is simply what gamers call beat 'em ups that emphasize the use of bladed weapons.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that. We're all learning here.
Yeah, I mean, like, even you mentioned it. I mean, Bad Dudes, came out in 88. So that's almost like, I mean, that's one of the first really big ones that I remember playing. I mean, going back to your question now that I think about it, Bad Dudes. And also, Spider-Man was a big one that I remember playing too early.
What year did that come out?
I bet you it was 90, 91. I can look it up real quick. But yeah, Streets of Rage, Spider-Man, stuff like that.
Streets of Rage is pretty.